StraighTAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today we're getting into part 2 of this brief mini series where I'm giving you a few new books to read because it was recommended or asked of me by somebody in my text community. Dre, can you recommend some books for people to read, because they were looking for some new reading material? And I said, why not? I read a lot of books. I'm a big reader, so I'm always adding to my recommended reading list, which, again, as I told you yesterday, I'll be expanding and putting up on the newly server located dreallday.com before the end of the year. So before we get started, let me remind everybody I send out a text message every day guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point. It is called the Daily Motivation. You want to receive that daily motivation text, all you got to do is text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning when the daily motivation comes out, because you're a member of my text community, you'll be getting that message straight to your phone free of charge. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. You are serious about creating success. You want to create that success this year. You want to make more money in your business this year. You want to start your business this year. You want to actually start getting the kind of customers and clients that you want in your business this year. How about you go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, stop BSing, and let's get started. This is the only place so you can work with me directly. That's the only place where I offer myself to work with anyone directly is as a member of Work on Your Game University. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Links to both the number and the university are down below in the description to this video or audio. Now, let's get right into it. We're picking up on point number 4. I told you I was going to recommend you 7 books for you to read. Let's go to number 4, which is In-N-Out Burger, written by Stacey Perman, Perman. The book is titled In-N-Out Burger. Some of you know what In-N-Out Burger is. If you do not, you could probably guess what it is. It's a burger joint, In-N-Out Burger. And I went to In-N-Out Burger. Was that In-N-Out? I think it was In-N-Out when I was in California. They don't have In-N-Outs down here in South Florida, but they do have them out in California. I remember when I was in LA, and probably about 10 years ago, a little less than 10 years ago, it was my first time having In-N-Out Burger, and I was very surprised. And I want to make sure I'm talking about the right place, because, see, since I don't actually, even if they did have In-N-Out Burger here, I probably wouldn't eat it that often, simply because this is not my normal kind of eating lifestyle. But no judgment to any of you who do like to eat In-N-Out Burger a lot. But I remember I was in California, and I said, I got to go to In-N-Out Burger. That's the place everybody's always talking about. Let me go to In-N-Out Burger. And I went there, and I'm looking up on their website right now just to make sure this is the same place, because I read this book probably about a year and a half ago. And I was very shocked by the sparseness of In-N-Out's menu. The menu was very sparse. It wasn't that many items on the menu. And I'm on their website right now, and for whatever reason, their website is all screwed up. I don't know why. So this is not a good book for In-N-Out, as I'm trying to pull up their website here. But and they also have a secret menu, which I didn't know about. I don't know if they had a secret menu back then, but they do have a secret menu, which is, I'm looking at it right now, double meat, 4x4, protein style, grilled cheese, animal style, and there's one more that for whatever reason is not loading. Their website is not loading very quickly right now, or maybe it's my Wi-Fi, who knows, one or the other. But anyway, I was surprised by the sparseness of In-N-Out's menu. They didn't have that many items on the menu. It wasn't that many things to choose from. However, or actually maybe because of that, there was a line out the door to get food at this In-N-Out Burger. I was standing in line. I stood in line for a good 10 minutes in order to get this food. The line didn't take long. It moved pretty quickly, but there weren't too many items on the menu, and there was a whole bunch of people waiting to order there. So maybe some of you could learn from that when it comes to the items that you're offering. All right, that's why I'm over here at Work on Your Game. We focus on Work on Your Game University, even though we could have a lot more different products to offer if we wanted to. But anyway, in this book, In-N-Out Burger, Stacey Perman, the author, breaks down where In-N-Out came from, where the concept came from, how it started, how they grew, how they continued to build the business, what are the core principles of the business, and why they do things the way that they do them. And again, any of you who's an entrepreneur or have the idea of being an entrepreneur, or you think that one day, somehow in the future, you may become an entrepreneur, you should read this book, and you should read any book you can get your hands on about how a business became a business and why they do the things that they do. The Everything Store about Amazon is another good example. Only in America or Made in America. I can't remember which is the right title, but Sam Walton, he's the guy who started the Walmart company. That's another one. And by the way, all the people, Sam Walton is dead, the guy who started Walmart, but his heirs, if you look at the Forbes 400, the 400 richest people in America, like 6 or 7 people from the Walton family are all on it individually because they all are billionaires based on being heirs to what Sam Walton created in the Walmart company. So if you have not read the book about Walmart, you should read that book about Walmart. Even if you don't care about Walmart, even if you don't shop at Walmart. I just did an episode the other day where I effectively told you, don't be Walmart. I told you, do not be Walmart when it comes to selling in your business. But at the same time, did I put that episode out already? Maybe I didn't do the episode yet. I'm looking down in my notes here. I know I did. Where is it? Did I do that episode? I'm just looking to see if I have that episode on here. I know I did an episode about not being Walmart in your business. Let me see if I can find it. Now I got to go find it because I don't know what I did with it. Well, you should not try to be Walmart. Or you should not have low prices. How to network in business. Well, I know I did that episode at some point. Anyway, episode's in there somewhere. Let me see. This is after. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. I got to adjust my notes. I think I missed some things I didn't put in my notes. But the whole point is, I just did an episode not too long ago. I was telling you don't want to be Walmart in your business. But at the same time, there's a lot of things you can learn from the Walmart concept and how Sam Walton built that business. But In-N-Out Burger is another example that I'm giving you here. So you could just take all 3 of those. You could take 3 for 1 here in this point. In-N-Out, the Everything Store on Amazon, and Only in America about Walmart, or Made in America, whatever the title of that book is. You'll find it very easily. This book is about the story of In-N-Out Burger, especially those of you who actually like In-N-Out. You should find out why they do what they do, how that business came to be. You're eating there. You should probably know the story of it. Moving on to point number 5. We are talking here today. I'm giving you some book recommendations, some books that you should read. Number 5, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Housel is his last name. And this book is all about your mindset around money. I mean, you've heard me talk about this a lot. All right, your mindset around money. We've done whole episodes on this. I've emphasized it many times. We teach it and coach on it inside of Work on Your Game University. The psychology of money is all about how people think about money and how it affects your behaviors around money. And since every one of you needs money to live, even if money is not one of your main motivations in life, your mindset around money matters a lot. So in this book, Morgan Housel breaks down people's overall thoughts around money, what they're doing with money, what you can do with money, how some people have some false beliefs and false ideas around money, and some unhealthy energies and mindsets around money, and how you can fix and adjust those to put yourself in a better space when it comes to your finances and the way you think about your finances and the way that you handle your finances. So any of you who's interested in money, or money is an issue or a challenge or a worry or a source of anxiety or fear or problems for you, you should read this book, The Psychology of Money, because when you change the mindset around what you're doing, then the actions and the results become a whole lot easier, and you achieve them a lot more cleanly when your mindset's different around money. So I think that's a good enough selling point for that book. Number 6, we are talking some books that you can read. So someone asked me for some book recommendations. Number 6, The Hero's Two Journeys. This is written by Michael Hague and Christopher Vogeler. Now, this book is actually relatively short. This is a very short book, The Hero's Two Journeys. And these 2 guys, Mr. Hague and Mr. Vogeler, are actually script writers, screenwriters from out in the Hollywood world. Now, I, your host, I do not even watch movies. I can't remember the last time I went to the movies. I don't go to movies. I do not sit and watch. I don't watch TV. I do not own a television. I don't really like watching movies because I don't like sitting anywhere for 3 hours straight and not going anywhere and doing something. It's just not just of no interest to me. So you can't really talk to me about movies because I don't watch movies. I haven't watched them for many years. However, The Hero's Two Journeys is a book that I got interested in and read because I am a writer. I do a ton of writing, even though I do not sit and watch movies. I don't write screenplays or scripts for movies, but I do write for myself. If any of you is on my email list, you see that I do a lot of writing. And when you get those emails from me, I actually write emails. These are not some short emails with just a link. Sometimes I send a short email with a link, but a lot of my emails are written out, and I write every single word that comes out of Work on Your Game. So Michael Hague and Christopher Vogler, talking about the hero's two journeys, what they're explaining is how every hit movie that comes out of Hollywood, there is a certain framework of how the story is told. Now, there are different people that they use. Sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman, sometimes it's a sci-fi thing, sometimes it's a regular everyday people thing, sometimes it's a love story, sometimes it's an action thriller, sometimes it's about a family and a dog, sometimes it's about somebody going to kill somebody for vengeance. But there's a framework for how those stories work. And those hero stories, as they say, that hero's journey, as we call it, it pulls people in and it pulls people along. And this is the reason why you can sit in the movies and watch a movie for 3 hours, because the framework of the story keeps your attention and it keeps you wanting to know what's going to happen next. There's a framework for this. This does not happen by accident. And these two guys, Michael Hague and Chris Vogler, they talked about how Will Smith, who had made a conscious decision early in his acting career that he wanted to be the biggest actor out there, he realized that the biggest movies that made actors superstars were these like action, drama, thriller type of movies. And you see in Will Smith's career, he did a whole lot of movies like that. And like Independence Day, for example. And Will Smith, when he would get the scripts for his movies, and sometimes he would have some input, I suppose, on how the script went, he would actually sit down with these two guys and say, hey, is this script fitting the framework the right way? And these guys would give him notes on how he could adjust the script to actually make it fit better so that it could keep the audience moving along the way it was supposed to, so that the movie would hit the way it was supposed to, and it would be a big box office slam, and Will Smith could become a bigger star, because that was his goal, to be a big star in the movies world. So the hero's two journeys, for those of you who are not movie watchers similar to myself, or any of you who is an entrepreneur similar to myself, especially those of you who are in the thought leadership space where your business is based around the personality of an individual, understand people want to know the story. They want to know the story of the person who's running it. And you need to tell them your hero's journey. What is your hero's journey? Where did you start? Why you're doing this? What are the challenges that you've overcome? How did you overcome them? What happened? What was the plan? Did it work? Did it not work? How did you get out to the other side? What changes did you go through? There's a whole journey and framework to doing this. So any of you who's ever studied copywriting, and if you're in the entrepreneurship space, you better be studying copywriting, because copywriting is how you make your money. Because if you cannot move people to action with your words, you won't sell anything. And I've talked about copywriting a lot here as well. The hero's journey is writing that you do to pull people along, to tell them your story, which brings them deeper into your world, which will allow them to identify with you more strongly, and thusly possibly become your customer, become your client, and stick with you in the long run. So the hero's journey is not just something for writing a movie script. All right, I'm not trying to write any movie scripts. I don't even want to watch a movie, but I do need to have a hero's journey that I write myself about what I do and the things that I go through, because it helps me build a relationship with my audience. That's why you need this, just in case you didn't catch the reason why the hero's journey matters to someone who's an entrepreneur. Point number 7. We're talking today about, and this is the last one, we're talking today about books that you can read. As I was asked, Jerry, could you give me some book recommendations? Number 7 is Built to Last by Jim Collins. Now, you may have heard me mention Jim Collins' name many times before. He also wrote the book called Good to Great. And there was a series of books that they wrote. And when he wrote Built to Last, he actually said that Built to Last actually should have came before Good to Great, because the way that they wrote it, but Good to Great actually came out first, and he went and wrote Built to Last after it. But everything in Built to Last actually fits in a series before Good to Great. But Built to Last is all about, well, first of all, what both of these books, Good to Great and Built to Last, are about is how great businesses come to be, and what are the principles and the foundational pieces that allow great businesses to be great, that make them great, and keep them great in the long run. How do you build a business that will last in the long run? i.e., it is not built around one individual being a superstar, because if your business is built around one individual superstar, well, what happens when that superstar retires, or they die, or they just get out of the business? Well, then your business is not so great anymore, right? So if it was based on that one person. So how do you build an organization that is bigger than any one person, and it will last no matter who is in there, and what are the pieces around it that make it work? So what Jim Collins did was basically did an empirical study on how this actually happens. He and his co-author did an empirical study on, I didn't know the co-author, so forgive me whoever the co-author is if he's listening to this. they did an empirical study on how that happens, and he broke it down in these 2 books. So I would give you both of those. I would give you both of those books. I don't know how Siri heard me. Siri shouldn't. I only have Siri on my phone, so I don't know how that happened. But anyway, you should read both Good to Great and Built to Last in your. You should. What is this? You should read both Good to Great and Built to Last to make sure that you are getting all of this game when it comes to what builds a great business. Because even if you have a business right now, if you got a local cupcake shop, or you have a coaching business or anything like that, even something small where it's just you right now and maybe a handful of employees, or maybe it's just you by yourself, the principles behind what makes businesses great are things that you can implement into what you're doing at work and what you're doing in your business right now. So let me recap these last 4 that I gave you here today. Books that you can read. Number 4, In-N-Out Burger by Stacey Perman. Number 5, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Number 6, The Hero's 2 Journeys, Michael Hague and Christopher Vogeler. And number 7, Built to Last. And I'll give you a bonus, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Also with number 4, The Everything Store, which is about Amazon by, I believe the guy's name is Jeff Stone. And then Made in America, which is Sam Walton. That's the guy who started Walmart. So there you got, actually gave you 4, 5, 6, 7 books here in this episode just here today, in addition to the 3 that I gave you yesterday. So now, any of you who needed some extra reading material, there I just gave it to you. That should hold you over till the end of the year. You go through those materials, or depending on how quickly you get through it, maybe the end of the month. Maybe by then my recommended reading list will be back up on my website. When it is, I will let everybody know. So text me, tell me the best thing you got from one of these books once you actually start consuming the book. Tell me that you actually have started to read one of these books, and the best thing you got from one of them. My number is 305-384-6894. Once you text me, you'll be in my text community, which means you get my daily motivation text every day, free of charge, starting tomorrow morning. And Work on Your Game University. Those of you who are serious about building your business, building something that lasts. You want to build something that's great. You want to tell people your story. You want to make the kind of money that you want to make, and you want to build a business. And maybe someday somebody write a book about you, make an episode about you, want to interview you and talk to you and feature you. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and let's get to it. That's the only place where you can work with me directly on things like this. And I do help people with this every single day. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all